101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. You know, next week at this time, we'll be in the midst of the Turkey-thon. It's your one Friday off of the year.
Wow. Wow, that's impressive. Bill's going to be in charge. Huh?
No. I do that now.
Yeah, you do that now.
Yeah,
Aren't you going to have Bill on it as a guest?
well, I try, but sometimes
Does he ignore you?
No, he doesn't ignore.
Oh.
He's just sometimes not available on that particular day because we don't know ahead of time, and he has his own schedule and thing. But we love to get him on. We'll try to get him on. Very, very hard, but I don't know if we can. We'll work on it. All right. Meanwhile, we've got you.
Okay.
Here this morning. Our visit with Mr. Pollock from the Extension, brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 4 years in a row, the best of Indiana County contests. Visit them online, marcusandmack.com. We were trying to remember what it was that we were talking about at the end of the program last week. We said we'll have to revisit that topic this visit right now, but I can't remember what it was.
Neither one of us can.
You could call if you have an idea of what that was, or any other topic you want to raise with Bob. 479-1160 or 349-WCCS. The numbers for you to call. All right, so we're here in the middle of November.
Yes.
And we're still doing the darkness and daylight thing with the poinsettias and the Christmas cacti and all of those. And we're assuming that's going along well.
I have,
you have
buds on my Thanksgiving cactus.
Yeah. Oh, so you want yours to bloom at Thanksgiving?
It always blooms at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. On its own.
On its own.
It never asks your permission.
No. I don't take it somewhere and force it to do something else.
You want it
It's nice to have it at Thanksgiving, actually.
Be its natural self.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. And people do that. Yeah. One of the things I wanted to ask you about was because everybody used to have these, especially back in the 70s and 80s, aloe plants that they had in their homes. And because back then it came out that aloe is a wonderful, has a medicinal use for folks, for burns or for cuts or for soothing, things like that. And caring for that aloe plant indoors, generally you can get away with just letting it do its thing. But there are some things you have to do, or else they'll just lose all of their moisture, and those aloe shoots will not fill up with that wonderful balming juice. So how do you care for an aloe plant indoors?
It's more of a succulent plant.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to keep that humidity level up, and a lot of times that's what happens indoors, especially in the winter. Also, thinking about what kind of heating source you have.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if, like wood burners, things like that.
Yeah.
That
forced air too.
And forced air as well. If it doesn't have a humidifier on it, tend to produce drier air. So our air inside can get really dry in the winter. And then we'll start noticing it on ourselves too.
Yeah.
Because humidity level's too low.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to keep those humidity levels up for that whole group of plants. And a lot of those plants are tropical in nature. We can put them out for the summertime, but we have to have them indoors for the wintertime. And typically outside, we have higher moisture levels, higher humidity levels that naturally take care of that in most cases around here. But inside, we may need to adapt a little bit, whether that be doing something with our heating system to increase that moisture level, or whether we just try to put those similar plants together indoors, group them together, and then, having a moisture tray underneath. We don't want the plants sitting in water. We don't want to put them in a tub, but having a tray that you could even put gravel on, then set the pots on top of the gravel, and then have moisture in that tray that's not touching the bottom of the pot, but having that moisture there and those plants grouped together. And having them grouped together and being closer together also can help kind of preserve some humidity levels there as well. But having that extra source of moisture that naturally, in that small area, will make a difference for those plants. It may not make a difference for the whole house or for the whole room, but for that group of plants, it will help.
When people are choosing plants such as that, a succulent, an aloe plant especially, since people do use it for therapeutic reasons, are there other plants that can be used in that same way?
Yes, there's a lot of plants that are in that maybe herb group, if we broaden that out, that have, if you look at each plant, they'll have various uses. There might be culinary uses, but in many cases, there's also some sort of medicinal use that somebody's used that for over time.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
And they have very
you
strange
just have
names.
Yeah. They might have a very long name, or more of a Latin name. They might go by their actual Latin name versus a common name, and so there's a whole group of plants that kind of fit into that group of plants, and you just have to kind of look closely at each one, and okay, what are its uses, and then kind of sort that out, and then also kind of be careful. There are some plants that could become. There's always usually a use rate, or too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they can be toxic to
and it can
pets
be toxic
as well.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have to kind of think through that. Do your due diligence and make sure that the source is good, that plant actually delivers on what it says, and there aren't any toxic effects.
Yeah.
Because there are a number of plants that in the right dosage we're okay, but if we get above that, then we can have a poison on our hands.
I just asked Dr. Google, who says lavender is one that you can grow indoors. Is that something that you can grow indoors?
Yeah, you can grow lavender indoors.
Yeah, in a pot. Is that
Yeah,
how you
in
do
a
that?
pot. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it will usually have a fragrance to it also.
So how do you use that? Because it says it can be used for headache, stress, and digestive issues.
So
is it
so
something
there we're
you cook
getting.
into a tea or something, or brew into a tea? How do you do that?
That's where we have to.
Be careful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And right, because a lot of those, it's not just rubbing the leaf, on your skin. You might need to do something to it. You might need to make it into a powder. You might need to make it into, crush it up, and then liquefy it. So it goes back to each and every one of those.
Peppermint and spearmint are others that they say that are good, where you can make a tea from them for
Right, and
digestion,
some of
nausea,
the
headaches.
Yeah, some of the mints and things like that. Some of those are things that you can actually consume.
Yeah.
You could cook with those. You could make a tea, hot tea, cold tea, to get the effects of those.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Right.
For a lot of them, is it just aromatic though? You can
Well, yeah,
just
some of them
having
are
the-
naturally aromatic, or the thymes and peppermints and mints. You can just touch those, rub those plants in your fingers, and that aroma comes off of those, as well as gets on your hands.
Yeah, they say lemon balm,
Yep, lemon balm's another one.
and these are all things that we could grow here.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
There are like the thyme and the mints. There are hardy plants in those groups that like even thyme. There's times we can use time that we can.
There's a time to use thyme.
Yeah, before we get out of time here, that are planted outdoors. You can actually, they're pretty tough plants. You can actually plant those and walk on them. You can have them between the stones on a patio, and then also, so they have that use, and they're hardy plants. But then they also have multiple uses.
Yeah,
So we can use them for these other things.
Dr.
Mints,
Google, by the
same
way,
thing.
does say consult a doctor before using any homegrown medicinal plants.
Yeah.
So
It's good to, because, through the millennia, plants have been used for various things, and what they were used for 1,000 years ago
yeah,
it might have been the only thing they had in it. We don't always know whether it really worked or not. There might be documentation that it was used, but whether it actually works and
Yeah.
the concentration and how you use it can make a huge difference.
There is one particular plant that I know that if you try to use it for medicinal purposes, you could get arrested still in Pennsylvania. So that's not something that we recommend that you do.
Yeah. Yes, and there are legal and unlegal uses of plants as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Here's
you know,
another one they say, St. John's wort.
Yeah, and that's also used as a perennial. A lot of these function as herbaceous perennials in the landscape, so they're hardy enough to grow here year in, year out. But the tops die back during the winter, and then it just
They'll come back in the spring.
Yeah, and get new growth. The root system remains alive, and then comes back the next year. So yeah, there's a lot of those that fit into that category here. Then some of those we can bring indoors and grow. You know, we can have them outdoors in a pot, and then bring them in for the winter and continue to grow them and take them back out next year.
Now, I know that Penn State has many different flyers and other literature available that you can find either online or you could send for, correct?
Yes.
Or they did at one point. I don't know if they still do. Do they still?
There are, in this digital world, many things have transitioned to that digital format, and they don't produce hard copies of a lot of things anymore. We would have to, we could access it though on the web and then print it out.
Pop them up on their online.
Yes, having those written publications that are on paper almost has become a thing of the past.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's okay too, as long as the information is available somewhere.
Advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, this is an area, I don't know what it was that we wanted to talk about
that
this
was
week,
not
but
it. But we went down a different path, and that was okay.
It was a good path to go down.
Yeah, there's tons of plants in this whole group that we've been talking about. Various hardinesses, various uses, multiple uses, really.
Yeah.
Some are very nice flowering plants, and then the whole fragrancy part of this, too, can be used well in the landscape.
Absolutely. Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.